It's been some time since the Pixel 5 came out, and honestly, it dropped right before some other major flagship phones, and I felt like it didn't get the love that it deserved. Instead of rushing a review out, I gave this phone to my wife, who is a Pixel 3 user, and during this time, the Pixel 5 was her only phone, and she's been putting it through its paces as a real-world user. Today, we're taking a look at the phone to see if it's going to be worth it going into 2020, or should another phone be on your radar? I'm Kevin the Tech Ninja, and let's take a look. The Pixel 5 starts at $700. In that territory, you have a lot of competition from the likes of OnePlus S20 FE and the iPhone. Google did something this year, which is something I've been asking. Stop trying to build the best phones with the specs, but focus on software and bring this phone to us at a more competitive price tag, which they did. In the hand, this phone feels very usable. There isn't an XL version or a Plus version, just this, and I think it's a great size. Although it's not totally one-handed, but it's very usable in one hand. It's around the same size as the iPhone 11, just a tad skinnier for reference. The Pixel 5 won't shock you when it comes to design. It does look like a Pixel, but it does not have that notch anymore. It's now a hole punch, which looks much more modern. The back still has the fingerprint sensor, which this day and age that we're living in with masks and all that stuff, it is a breath of fresh air. What Google is doing with this phone is giving you a clean and minimalistic Android experience. They know their main feature is camera, and they truly focus on that. Of course, you get Google Assistant and all the features that it comes with, and if you take time to dive into Google Assistant and everything it can do, like screening your phone calls, it is really good. The Pixel 5 has a 4,000 milliamp battery, and I think it's fantastic. I find that it gets a full days of usage with easily around 6 hours of screen on time and still around 30% of battery left. The back of the Pixel can also be used to charge Pixel Buds 2 if you're into that kind of thing. I know people who care about specs would scoff at the idea of a new phone that doesn't have the latest Qualcomm Snapdragon chip, but I will even say without the newest chip, it's still a very quick phone. Jumping between apps with 8 GB of RAM, playing games, and listening to music, this phone has absolutely no issues in doing so. The remainder of the video, I feel the need to focus on the camera since this is Pixel's best feature and what they focus on the most. The Pixel is still the best portrait camera on mobile. The Pixel 5 isn't leaps and bounds better than the 4 on the camera side of things, but for video, the Pixel 5 is finally a competent device. Finally, I can take a video on my Pixel and feel confident that it'll come out as expected. Check out this video in low light with this fire dancer. The fire, the colors, the lights, everything looks really good, and it sounds good too. With the Pixel 4, this would have been a struggle. Video here, waiting for the tractor to come in. The colors are a little bit dull compared to pictures, but it still is properly represented in video. I would have loved to see a little bit more dynamic range and a bit punchier on the color side, but I think this is okay. In this video of me chasing my son around, the stabilization is really good, tracking all his movements and my movements without a lot of jitter and shake. Also, locking focus on the subject is really good. You're not seeing it lose and gain focus. For the pictures, well, that's gonna be a different story. I love how the images looks out of this camera. It's hard to call out one thing specifically, but I will say, portrait mode once again, bar none, is king. A lot of these images are of moving subjects, and the Pixel nails these shots with little issues. At times, my son's hair may not be in focus 100%, but that's expected. His hair is crazy, it's all over the place, and a lot of phones can't figure it out. But for the most part, these images are really good, even good enough to print out. Most of my favorite pictures of my son and a family have came from a Pixel device, and the Pixel still is my go-to camera for everything I do. With the inclusion of the 2x zoom and the wide angle lens, this camera is just an all-around amazing camera. Now, people may question how it competes with the iPhone. I feel that the camera portion on the Pixel is better than the iPhone's, but when it comes to video, the iPhone is still better. So here is what you are getting from a Pixel. If you buy a Pixel phone, this is what you get. Software support with updates, good hardware, fast performance, and an amazing camera. But the problem is the Pixel 4 5G provides you with a lot of that same experience for hundreds less. It's a shame I didn't get a chance to review the Pixel 4 5G, but from what I know about it, it's just like the 5, and it has a little bit bigger screen and that same amazing performance and most of the same camera features. Now, one negative thing I do have to say is that the night mode is really good, but it just takes a long time to capture compared to, hate to say it, the iPhone. I'm sure it will get better at times, but I didn't notice it until we went to this nighttime Christmas experience thing and we were taking pictures. It took a lot longer on the Pixel to capture the image than it did on the iPhone. So I will say taking pictures at night could be a little bit better, but if the subject is still, these images do look really good. If you're a power user that may want the better processor and all the camera features, then I'll stick with the Pixel 5. But if you're a person who wants even more minimal and just a nice phone with a great camera, then the Pixel 4a 5G would be an amazing choice for you. Hell, even the Pixel 4a non-5G too. I did a video on that. Check out all my Pixel videos that I will link down below, and from there you can make a decision. As far as Android, I still think the Pixel provides the most balanced experience between amazing camera and also a minimal software experience that you know will be supported and you'll get updates from years to come. Anyways guys, Kevin the Tech Ninja here, happy holidays, and I'll see you guys in 2021. Peace.